I'm ready.
You're live?
I'm
Okay. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. This will be the workshop of March 13th, 2023. We'll roll into this and then we'll get started right into our regular meeting as well. Commissioners, you have before you our new assembly, and everyone, we have our displayed up there. We're still working with this and learning, so please bear with us if you have any questions. Hopefully by next month, this will be available online. You can go to trentonga.gov. Under online services, you'll be able to go to the meetings, and the meetings will have the minutes of the prior meetings and the current agenda, prior agendas and the current agendas as they're published when we give them out to the media. So, Commissioners, do you see any additions or deletions to the current workshop or agenda we need to add or delete?
Scott, should you? I'm sure that's what it's supposed to be at.
Let's go to TV again.
Agenda right there. Go 313.
That's why we're going HDMI. The wireless stuff screws in there. Well, it's on. It's not on. That is the agenda you're looking at, the agenda.
That's it. Right there.
Y'all come looking for paper here, you ain't gonna find it.
Yeah, we get used to it. Nobody just likes computer more than me. Can't do that.
You can't go through the numbers anymore.
You hurry to get it ready and then it freezes. All right, Commissioners, the agenda we have before us, probably need to go get that. You got it, get some made. Fix that.
Not the whole thing.
Just the agenda,
Okay.
nothing else. We have the approval of the current agenda, approval of the previous meeting minutes. You're also emailed your copies in advance of the February 2023 minutes. We had no proclamations. We do have one splosh item that come in. This is for the upgrade to the current vehicle and body camera for the Trenton Police Department. As we had purchased some new cameras and systems for our 3 patrol cars due to the current system going out. The server also needs to be upgraded within our department. We also discussed item 4.5, which was our accounting software. We had 3 different prices. We give it a month to look at and talk to each individual ones, and we had the one that we liked that we will give updates on. Also, we have been approached about a pedestrian crosswalk at West Crabtree at Dade County Elementary. Review the property survey for the Dade County Elections Building, and we do have some surplus property we want to bring up. The baby box update from Ms. Bello, and then a panhandling orders from Commissioner Norris. That would be our work items. Is there anything else we need to adjust or change, Commissioners? If not, we'll take the minutes for February 2023. We have any additions or deletions to the, just those public ones. I don't need additions for public ones. Somebody wants to? Yeah. We have no additions or deletions to the February minutes. We'll add that to the consent agenda. Is everybody good? Had no proclamations or board appointments. The next thing will be the splosh. As I was talking, we had purchased the new cameras for the new cars. Chief Bowen, Detective Floyd, myself, along with the Sheriff's Office, we went with a meeting to talk about this last month. And with the new software and technology changing, ourselves here and the Sheriff's Office are in the same boat as the server software application through Microsoft Server, and the server software for the video cameras and body cameras has to be updated. So we had our IT consultants, which is Lightfoot Technology Networks Incorporated, look at our current server and the size of data that we have on our body cameras and vehicles, come up with a price for a 8-bay Synology server for $2,068. The Black X drive box for external, that was free, that was part of it. We're gonna get 8 terabytes of hard drives. We need 8 of those at $332.35. That's $2,658. And then a NIC card, which actually allows it to talk through the network, which is $343. So the total price is $5,071.50 for the upgrade to the police department's body worn camera and car camera upgrades. 3 of the new cars that we got will have the newer technology. Our other cars will be upgraded to the version 5 software. The version 4 software that we currently have has all our data since we've been on WatchGuard, as long as we got hard drive space for it. As it builds up over time, and it takes years, if the officers have not put a case number with it or saved it under their profile of each individual officer, it's saved on that current server. We want to convert that server over data. It's too expensive. It costs us more than what a new server would cost. So that's the reason why we want to go with a new server. The Trenton PD's network for any cases that come up that's been done there in the current version we are. I know it's a lot of technical. We've been dealing with this with Motorola. We found out the hard way. They told us that it would convert over, but they didn't provide us a conversion price when we bid out of it. So once we found out what it was going to cost per terabyte, it just didn't seem feasible cost-wise to go ahead and get a new server, newer technology, and newer software. And then it may take years if the officer, I don't know how long back cases can go if they can pull data off the current WatchGuard. So we have to maintain that for a while. So if there's no, it's a lot, that's just what we got to move to and every car from now on will have to have this newer version, the new technology that we're getting, the cameras, it would be ready for this. This is a one-time hurt that'll take us 6 or 7 years. Probably have to upgrade it in the next block, but we usually do. You okay with that? The accounting software, we talked about three different divisions of this. We had G-Works, Harris Local Government, and Edmunds Software. The Edmunds GovTech come in at $60,640. Now that's installation, first year service, and warranties covered with that. Then annually, it would cost us $26,890. That's for software service and hosting. The Harris equipment, this is what a couple other cities have, and there are several cities that had Edmunds as well that we read off, was $103,423.95 with an annual payment of $105.20, which is for cloud hosting and portal and annual maintenance. G-Works, it was the less of the three. It come in at $24,330, an annual payment of $83.25. But we did not have a lot of good information from them, and didn't get a lot of stuff returned back. Edmunds is what we really liked. They will guarantee that price for us for 5 years. We just have to re-up every year after that. Something we'll have to start working in for our 2024 budget.
So does that mean the first year would be 80-something thousand?
$60,604.
Okay, so does that include the first year? of
Yeah,
20?
that's the implementation, training, first year hosting, and warranty all in one.
So the first year would be 60,000.
$60,600. It'd probably pay for itself based on when they need it. I believe that's what the paperwork said. Then after that, annually, we would have to budget to $26,890. Now, this would allow dashboards for you, the commissioners, to look at on their, at any time, and it'll be available again to help us with our dashboard so we can keep it open, what's going on. They also do direct deposits for our employees. It'd also be one link from whichever software we have for that the tax commissioner uses once the bills come out. We manually inputted, how many?
2,200.
2,200 invoices every year by hand that would be automatically uploaded. And when somebody pays online or we show it paid, it automatically updates all the way through the books. Again, there were several big cities that used this software, and county governments.
On the direct deposit, will that be mandatory for?
No, it'd be optional.
So they.
It's all optional for them if they want it. It just depends the way our pay cycle works. We'd have to check and see, because usually the way we work Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is our 5 day. We process payroll on Thursday, it may not hit them until Monday. It's right there at the week, and I know the county offers it, and they process on Monday, and it don't hit me till Thursday.
I just wanted to know if it.
No, it's not mandatory. It's anybody that wants it.
I remember once Nathan implemented it, we got a lot of people, lash over it.
Yeah,
lash
it
back.
is.
Some people loved, the people that loved it, but the people that didn't want it, did not want it.
Nobody's told me they didn't want it, so.
It'd be our accounts receivable, our finances, our payroll, and our real estate tax that we're talking about as it comes in. It really is designed, there's other features available, and it'd be a little bit more easier for online stuff as well. We've been fighting with QuickBooks for so many years, and it's just time to get something that's made for government software. So I'd like to recommend that we approve this with our SPLOST funds and carry it on for
We'll be able to pay it, the 60,000 out of SPLOST,
everything.
right?
Which we had, I'm not sure what our yearly stuff was with QuickBooks, but we've had it built in our budget. It's gonna be quite a bit more, but we paid for annual yearly
Some of it will
support.
be offset, is what you're saying, because we already paid.
We already paid some, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you're right.
Okay.
Alrighty, I was approached by school board, or the school superintendent's office, with safety, John Smith, which was that, as we know, there on West Crabtree, at the intersection of West Crabtree and Wolverine, we have a lot of folks that will come up and park at course facility parking lot, and they walk their children across the thing, all the way into the front door, and they also park in the parking lot a lot as well. They've asked for possibly us putting a pedestrian crosswalk at that intersection, and we do have some signs for school, but we could also probably incorporate a school zone timing through there as well, inside our two city streets there. Maybe so far up Wolverine and so far back maybe to Case and West Crabtree, the school zone entering right there during the hours of the morning. There's a lot of traffic through there, and a lot of people coming in Wolverine, hustling through and getting over to either the drop-off line or into that parking lot. It would be the signs with the pedestrian crosswalk, and we would do it closer to the stop sign intersection, so it'd give the shortest walk for them over the section to get over to the, on the other side of the gate to the driveway to walk into the school for the children. I was asked by John, and told him I'd bring it before the commission to see what they thought about it, what she thought about it. Give us an idea, but also help slow traffic, and maybe, I'm not sure what our smallest miles per hour we can do in the school zone. Is it 15 maybe? First Street really needs it too. There's some days you can't get out of there. There's so many people flying through there. Almost Case Avenue all the way up to the end of Fifth, all the way as well. Help slow down through there. But maybe we can think about it and really come back next month and kind of get an idea of what the signs would cost. And usually we keep that paint for our stop bars that we paint yearly. We get Sherwin-Williams, it's made for traffic, so we would probably use that same pattern, just put a couple flat bars when they go do the crosswalk through there. Unless y'all feel comfortable doing it now.
I feel comfortable doing it now.
I'll give these things.
We'll probably have to get a state permit for the one on First Street, wouldn't we?
That's City Street too.
Going out on 11.
No, starting at Case Avenue.
Oh, I'm backwards.
Yeah, go the other way, yes, sir. But that was just my thoughts, is that some things I have to, but I've seen them fly up through there pretty heavy, and haven't seen many people walking, but, you know.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We'll add that to that, and we'll also. That with the times, we'll look at what the state times are, those on the sign as well. The next item was the property review for the survey for the elections building, where we were just gonna turn that section of, property that is owned by the citizens back to the government, county government for that. We met with I did have a survey, and I ran off and left it at the office in the county. Me and Ted met with the surveyor this morning. There was two pieces of parcels there. One of them was an easement of Rail Street from Price Street up to where Holland went, was an easement that we have for our road. And then our whole property, the city's property, went all the way up to the old depot. Well, it had the rail street in it as well, railway lane in it as well, so we had to go back today, and we'll have it by Friday, where they put us a 30-foot easement off that property for our street, for any type of maintenance. So we had the whole easement on both sides. So, when we seen the preliminary this morning, I said, well, you need to give us an easement for railway lane up through there. So he's going back, we should have that by Friday. And then the other piece of property down here behind Holland Street and against who's a gentleman that lives in that corner,
Yellow House.
Yeah, Mr. Holland, there's a piece of property again where Railway Street ends, that's our first easement up through there. So there was a piece of property here for the whole lot, and a small piece right here on, between Holland Street and here, that was in that current property. So we'll have to work with the county, or we'll have to construct that Holland Street right here, just the way he'll have to come in and get into his house. Because right now, his house kind of comes in off that lot. So whatever they do with curbing or whatever, but if you get a chance right by there, you'll see all the corners marked with orange paint and orange sticks. And it's nearly 300 foot long, 158 foot up on one end, and 148 foot up on the end next to Mr. Holland. And then where Holland's, our corners are, you'll see there are 30-foot right away to Mr. Holland's property, back towards the park. So we should have that final, and I can scan it in and try to email it to you, and if it's still good, we'll just have them. Again, we're keeping the 30-foot easement down there by Mr. Holland, and along the property where our street is, it'll still be in the city's maintenance easement for the. That's just an update with that. Surplus property, the fire department has some air packs that was awarded back with us probably in 05 or 08 maybe. I'm trying to think what year, but it was some, it was like 33 MSA air packs and spare bottles. We have recently, as we brought before you last year, where all 7 volunteer fire departments went out for another grant, and along with ARPA of the county and City Splosh, we bought all new Scott air packs, which is more up to date, should last us another 15 years or so. But these here, we'd like to surplus 10 air packs, 24 spare bottles, and 4 face masks to the Tri-Community Fire Department, which is in Higdon, Alabama. Or
Flat Rock.
Higdon, Flat Rock, Alabama. We was also donated some surplus property from DeKalb County, Georgia, for some of our friends throughout south, and Brad Buchanan and Barry Carter rode down. They took Hansel's truck, and one of our other firemen, Jerry Henniger, let us loan us his enclosed trailer. They sent us back valves and just all types of stuff that a huge county had in surplus property, and we was able to get some stuff from us. With every county fire department and around us, we called everybody and said, hey, come get some of this stuff if you need it. So they come down and get some.
Being in Georgia, we can donate to.
If you surplus the property, yes, and it's as is, as it goes. Yeah, we can double check with Ron, but we've done it in the past. It's as is, no warranty, it's fixing to be out of date with NFPA, it don't hold us liable for anything. So we'll double check that with Ryan and Ron and make sure if it is, we'd like to surplus it, donate it to a community that needs, because they currently use those. Now, you can send them back and get some repairs done, and you can send the bottles back, and spend about $300 to $500 per bottle, and get another several years on it. But we've had them for almost 18 years now.
I just know one time a few years ago, the city, this is before I was on the commission, I remember they surplused a dump truck or something, and then gave it to somebody, some municipality in Alabama, and I remember it was a big,
Really?
It's a boom truck.
you remember
Bucket
that?
truck.
Got a bucket truck.
I remember that was a big,
Well, we'll verify it before we
Yeah.
let them know. If there's
And
any,
then Tri-State, or Tri-Community, they're part of the,
got part of Tri-State Mutual Aid?
that's right,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to think of, yeah. So it could help us. know
That's right, that's right, that's
oh, I don't
why.
have a problem giving it to anybody that needs it, I
Yeah.
just remember that was a
Right,
big
yeah.
thing
But,
a few years, or several years ago.
it'd be a big help for those folks out there, and probably us too, in the long run.
All righty. We'll add that, and we'll add that contingency of the attorneys. This time we'll have a baby box update from Ms. Bellows.
All right.
Mr. Bellows.
I want to speak on this one tonight, yeah.
Okay.
So just kind of wanted to bring this back up and talk a little bit more about the subject. So before we get into a baby box, I just kind of wanted to review how you know, some of the changes that have happened with obviously Roe versus Wade being turned over. It doesn't really matter what side of the fence one is on. At the end of the day, there's a cause and effect to everything that really happens. And if you keep an eye on the news, you might have heard that there have been some babies that are being basically abandoned and in dumpsters, right? And also around home renovation sites, one railroad. So it's kind of an issue because obviously ourselves, we're pro-life. That's where we stand on it. But while this is a big win in our eyes, there's also a big negative. And the big negative is now there's not really not that there was an option in my eyes, but the issue is that say a mother is in a bad situation, she doesn't want to take care of her child, and now she's in a situation where she's going to abandon it, right? And that baby would just be left to die. And so basically what a baby box does is it provides a place for a woman to be able to leave her baby in a safe box that, anonymously. And that's kind of the big thing because, you know, when somebody's in that type of situation, especially if that happened here in Dade County, Trenton, you're not going to want to go to the fire station or the police department and surrender your baby there when you know who the police officer is or you know who the firefighter is, and then say that gets wind in a small town. And so the baby box offers that solution that they can do that. You know, recently, even near us in Ringgold, a baby was also found, and I believe it was a park. It's a horrendous thing. It's a sad thing that happens, right? I mean, I couldn't see that happening for me, but I can't speak for the moms and what they're going through. But at the end of the day, if I have the option of seeing that a child's going to be left abandoned to die versus it being surrendered over and can have the opportunity to be adopted, I think we all would want that. So there is a safe haven law, right, just like you had brought up, that allows a mother or a guardian to give over their baby within, what, I think 30 days. And they won't face any charges or anything of that nature, and that child will go into the system. But obviously, as I just brought up, there are some challenges to that when you are in a small town and word gets around pretty easy on things like that. So that's the benefit of the baby box. So kind of what our goal is that we can get ahead of that curve. And what I mean by that is, okay, say time goes by and this starts to become a more frequently occurring issue where babies are starting to be found in the dumpsters because people that were on the other side of the fence don't know what to do with their kid, and so they do that. So that said, really the thing I have to bring today is, one, if there's an update on it, if there's not an update on it, what are the next steps? You know, one, I think that's a viable solution is getting a baby box here in Dade. Another one that I think would go hand in hand is also just getting out awareness for the safe haven law in itself, because I don't think a lot of people are aware of that safe haven law, and we'd be glad to be involved in whatever way that we can to help with something like that. But I also wanted to just give some numbers here. According to Georgia Oasis database, 19,061 babies were aborted past week 6 in 2020. 19,000, that's in the state of Georgia. Now, the people that were willing to go through that, what are they going to do now that they can't do that? Either they're going to deal with it, or they're going to just dump their child in a dumpster. Or put them up for adoption, right? That would be the hope.
Where do they, where would you put one of those? Where are other people doing
Yeah,
that?
that's a great question. So where people will do them often is in a fire department, police department, sheriff's office, or they'll also do it at a hospital. They do it outside, and so you can actually see it in some other countries as well do it. And, oh yeah, the US, they have plenty in the US. But basically, it's a door, and you just open the door, you put the baby in, and then a silent alarm goes off, and the door gets secured. And then it's in a conditioned environment, and then somebody is alerted right away to get the child. And so the mother's not seen and anything that happened there, and the baby's safely in that box.
It's a shame we live in that day, but I remember when we put resource officers in school, I thought how, you know, I couldn't believe we actually got to that day. But
I mean, we all wish that wouldn't happen,
I know,
but situations, you know,
I'd rather have one. If it did happen, then it happened, and then we have to get one. You know, normally that's the way things do.
yeah,
Things happen.
being proactive instead of reactive.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you're right, I mean, it's tough, and I mean, it's like, it all goes back down to sin. I mean, that's our issue in society. And, you know, how can we be proactive? And I think that's a good option. And just one other thing I wanted to say was, you know, as we all know, time goes on, history happens, people come in, things are forgotten, but you guys also have an opportunity to put an impact into that. And if it just saves one life, it's worth it. And even if it never was used, you can at least say, it was there, we did the right intent. And then if it was used, be like, I'm glad we did that, you know.
Does the organization help provide that, or is there a cost to get it moved and going in?
So there's a couple different options. There is an organization called the Safe Haven Baby Box, and basically, why don't you speak on the organization, because you've had a little bit more contact with them.
Yeah, so they will provide a box, it does come at a cost. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I think there's an upfront cost and then an annual fee because they service it for you to make sure everything's working, and they do trainings to teach everybody how to use it. But if you write into your laws about having a safe haven box, you don't technically have to go through them. You can, you know, set up your own box in your own location, have your own silent alarms, you know.
Like adding a statute pretty much, right?
Yeah, you have to write it into laws and things like that. So I know our fire department is volunteer-based. I think there's one in either Illinois or Ohio that has their box at a volunteer one, because it's the same as if, you know, there was a fire emergency, they're gonna come and respond. So if that silent alarm is going off, they're still gonna come and still respond because, you know, they're needed. So you just have to have it written into the laws to allow that to happen.
So I guess somebody makes these boxes, but if you do
There is a company, it's called Safe Haven Baby Boxes.
Yeah.
I think the website's like shbb.org or .com. And they make them and install them. And then train people, or, you know, you could work locally and how, you know, people do it that way too, so.
Yeah, and so obviously Safe Haven is an option that something they've done multiple times, so the resources and all that are there. But it is also a thing if we wanted to say, hire a contractor in this area to support that effort, or maybe we might find a contractor that might be willing to donate some of his time or whatnot to do that. But I mean, you know, in essence, it's a metal box, it's in conditioned space, and it locks, right? So kind of like we have those magnet type locks,
Yeah.
right, on doors. All you have to do is put some type of a sensor system that detects, okay, after this amount of time, it locks. And then alarm goes off, and then the other side, there's a door inside, say, the fire department that does that.
That's what I was just fixing to ask, is that's where some of the places, a lot of them are put at fire departments.
Fire department, police, sheriff's office, hospital, you know, so,
And we would love to help, you know, raise funds or anything like that, so.
Well, I just looked it up, and it says that the cost is around $10,000 each to install. The cost includes training programs for emergency workers who receive the babies, and they are funded through private donations. If a fire station or hospital contacts Kelsey's group to request a box, she will have the facility raise the money for that. There was 361 babies left in fire boxes in Florida last year.
Within the end, defects, it's called and taken care of, I guess that's the next
Yeah,
step.
that's exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, there's places like in China, there's this documentary we had, was it the documentary? Okay, Korea. In Korea, and there was a man that actually had a baby box, and him and his wife would take in all these babies, and it's crazy. It's remarkable what that family was giving in that community. But it's a need.
No, I haven't thought of that either.
Be interested to see if any of Georgia cities done this. Probably do some calling around with GMA and see what ordinance wise, if we done something on our own, or if we want to do this, I mean, that's something the commission, that's a big responsibility upon us. And do that, I'm sure there's plenty of help with it, getting DFOX involved.
Does the,
It's their own
Veteran
calling.
Children's Services, I thought I don't know, I thought I had heard they had something like that.
I don't think a drop off area.
And I mean, we already have like the responsibility with our, with the safe haven law, right? So if somebody were to bring a baby, that responsibility already is on us. But really what the baby box provides is the anonymous
Yeah.
type of drop off. And I mean, stuff goes around here quick in this little town. And it just does. I mean, my chickens got killed recently, and you were just talking to me about it, and I mean, people
I live
just,
down the road from you.
I know, but, I mean,
Well,
I
I'm
always
an
didn't give you
animal
a call.
lover. There's an animal range around there, I noticed.
Yeah, yeah, but I had a bunch of people talking to me about it, so things they go quick in a little place. And so if you're gonna make that big of a decision in your life, I mean, you'd probably just say, I wanna get out of this
You're right,
place, or I'm not gonna do it.
you're
If I
right,
don't have the resources to do it, somebody might abandon me,
you're right. I think the library would be a great place, don't you think?
For
Right
baby
by-
box?
Right by the blessing box.
Yes.
And we now have our fire alarms connected to an actual phone line, which is an important feature in making sure someone is alerted to that. Yeah, I was looking at some of the safe haven statistics and things like that, different ones. I don't know where you found those costs so quickly, Wanda. I was having trouble finding those, but
Well, I looked at what they said.
I'm on there too, but I didn't find the cost yet. I'm still digging around in there.
But I'm for exploring anything like that that like, and Alex knows better than we all do about emergency management and the responsibilities and safety and. I mean, I'm not closed-minded to it all. Oh, no.
I guess the question would be what the next steps would be, so to press on, what's the next thing to do, Because like I said, we already have the same responsibilities, really the only difference is you're putting it in to a box that alerts us to come be responsible right at that box, right?
Well, we're government up here, the next step is money. So,
It's okay.
but I'm sure, like you said, I'm sure there's, like you don't have to go through them And with everything, like you said, being in a small town and going around like it does, I'm sure we could, this community could come together and make it work without having to go through these particular works.
Yeah.
I mean, how much training would you have to have? You know, the bell rings and there's a baby.
Sometimes we can make it a little bit too technical.
Yeah,
That's it. The bell goes off, grab the baby.
And then someone that's trained would just come get the baby and then take said baby to the hospital?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get a chance, there's the Georgia Safe Haven Law. I was just looking at it. It's a good read here. We need to educate what it is. DFACS is involved. There's a toll-free number, 24/7, 1-855 Georgia Child, GA Child. You can call that hotline, and when the baby's ready, and they come pick it up.
And I think that's another thing is getting more awareness on that, because, I mean, I had no clue.
DFACS is the ones
Didn't know
getting
until my
called.
wife started looking into it.
DFACS would get the call first?
Yeah, well, that toll-free number goes to them, Department of Homeland.
Because right now, with the Safe Haven law, someone could take their baby with no questions asked to one of the local fire departments, right? Even-
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has
So
to
what
be in
law
the
were you talking about?
Like you, so it's basically just an extension of Safe Haven law. So right now, you can take your infant up to 30 days to a fire department, police department, sheriff's office, hospital, but you have to put it into somebody's hands and drop the baby off.
And
So
what
if you
happens
put
if you don't?
Well, then you get prosecuted if they find you. So if you leave it on the sidewalk, like, I mean, I think it was in Chicago, I don't know when it was, but somebody left their baby in a duffel bag outside of, I want to say, police department, and it froze to death and died. And there's been people, leaving their babies random places this year.
Emergency
Sometimes,
vehicles even could run over.
yeah. So I had heard somebody who was who drove an ambulance and said, like, you cannot leave your child outside of a hospital because you can drive it over, run it over. So
Okay.
you have to put it in their hands, and so that's the draw to the box, because, there's no camera set up, it's probably on the side of the building, somewhere tucked away, and they can go drop it off, get whatever resources, if people wanna leave resources for the mom. And then, once they close the door, it's locked, and so if somebody wanted to open the door, they can't.
They can't
Right.
have something in it.
Yeah, so they can open it from the inside of the building. It's kind of like one of those ovens that's on the side of on the side of your wall, kind of like that. Not like a whole door, but just like the little door. You put it and you close it and it locks. So, yeah.
So, what type of law needs to be added? I guess I'm just thinking, where you said next steps is funding and potentially getting a law, is that a city, a county?
That is above my
Oh, okay.
scope of knowledge. That's what I was hoping they would know.
Oh, okay.
So the Safe Haven organization, they have, I think they even have templates or something of statutes.
Put
But I
an
think
ordinance
there's-
inside our city, probably.
Yeah, it'd be like an ordinance probably in your city that allows you to have a box to do that.
Yeah, but we would work with people and, have an event at Jenkins or something for people to come and do whatever and raise finances for or something like, I don't want to just say, here's this idea, do it. But if we can actually help, we'd really, really love to help make it happen if that's something that you guys decide is what you want to do. So, yeah.
And I think there's something said to what you said about the local, like this area being able to make something like that too, because we have a ton of HVAC people for condition space, we have tons of general contractors in the area, we have engineers in the area.
well, I go back to when we brought when the Superior Court judge, when Brian House was elected, he decided to make his office here. Well, there was some kind of ordinance or law or something that he had to be behind a steel door. And I remember, you probably know this better than I do, and it was gonna be like $9,000, and Ted Rumley said, $9,000, we're gonna build that thing, and they built it for like $3,000, didn't they?
There you go.
So I guess we're asking asking what would be our next step to investigate even further and look at some numbers and,
We'll contact our attorney on it too.
yeah.
So look into statutes and things of that nature, is that what you're saying?
I mean, you know, since you've already invested time in it, and your heart's in it, nobody's gonna look at it probably like you are, since you've already, you know, so you wanna gather some more information.
I have lots of information.
Yeah.
I don't think you were here last time, but I just like spewed a bunch of stuff. But
So-
yeah, I can definitely help you out.
So if it's a go from them, if we want to consider putting on one of the city's properties, does that be the next step? Let's just come back and meet on it and update on it?
I'd say so.
Yeah, I guess we could put it right outside April's door, like, April's window.
We got the small box up there.
We'll keep working on it. Any information, if y'all want to leave and drop off to us, we'll be glad to forward it out. We can give it to everybody.
And if you guys have any like specific questions or extra information that you want, just so that we know what else is necessary,
Yeah, I was,
just let, you know.
and I think we can call and April through the clerks, we can send stuff through GMA and see if any other cities do it and what they've done. So usually it's, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel, spend a lot of time on it and do some research on our own and let the attorneys walk at it and see. I guess if we do it on our own and find something for less than that, but then you're, just keep the maintenance, like anything else, maintenance and operations of it. Build a protocol that as soon as it happens, police and fire department is dispatched immediately, all fire and EMS, because that's the first thing you want to do, and it's in a place where somebody feels comfortable to do it. And we have a county facility which the city shares, the fire department on the property where EMS and fire and emergency management is all right here, right beside City Hall, and then the police department's right here as well. It's one of those things that if it was to alert immediately, it could be done, somebody can get there pretty quick. All right.
Thank you guys for your
You're
time.
welcome. Thank y'all for continuing with this, because it is a pro-life thing where I believe we're all that person right now. And like you said, one child would be worth it. All righty, item 10, panhandling orders by Commissioner Norris.
Since I had this put on the agenda, we've done a little research on it. And what I'm talking about panhandling is basically the people that are standing on sidewalks up there when you get off the interstate, you know, begging for money. Chattanooga has a real problem with that. They eliminated some of it a couple of years ago. They changed their laws on it there in the city. But somehow, anyway, there's still about 25 places in Chattanooga where these people are allowed to go out and stand on the side of the road and collect money. You know, if they're homeless and need it, then that's fine. But a lot of them are working for a certain group of people that take them around, drop them off in the corners, take them their dinner and their lunches, and take them to the restrooms, whatever. They're working for an organization doing that. And I know that for a fact because we had one started up right here in the city of Trenton back when I was still working. And I was fortunate enough to, I guess, run them off before they got settled in good. But we're seeing it more and more and more in Chattanooga now. And just 2 weeks ago was it, Bill? We had one starting again. So when I seen him starting, I called Steve and I said, as Barney said, nip it before it gets started, because once it gets started, it's hard to get going. So they took care of that. But really the law that I was basing everything on is there's a law about, individual people being on the interstate, walking or hitchhiking, and at the top of that ramp is interstate. So for they're illegal for walking. So that's what I was basing the grounds of getting them going, In the past future, for years, we just say, here, we'll give you a ride to the next station. We take them somewhere, dump them out. Well, then they'd have to call their handler to come get them and where they at. But like I said, we had that started here, actually about a year before I had to quit working. And, the, long story short, but I run the same job about 4 times. And I chased him to his new Cadillac to go check something one time, last time I caught him. And I ain't talking about a 10-year-old Cadillac, I'm talking about a new Cadillac. But he was setting out, going to a place where you could collect money. He's gonna start dropping his people off there. Well, he did. So run him off again, and then this day I ran him off the last time I actually seen him, he'd throw his sign down the ground. And it was some hitchhikers coming up the interstate that were, you can't hitchhike on the interstate. These people were, hitchhikers. They would collect their money. But he gave them the sign as he was running. The guy was going to turn around and come back. And they were standing there with that sign while I was hunting. They stood there with a sign in Trenton. There's a lot of generous people in the city of Trenton. I'm going to tell you right now, they are. A lot of people. But in the 30 minutes they stood there while I was hunting the guy, they collected him over $300. All generous people right there. But you gotta remember, this guy is in charge of it. He's got 35 over in Chattanooga drops off. Takes them their water, takes them everything. But they're getting by with it. And the city of Chattanooga's trying to put a stop to it. It's dangerous. They're standing out there on the side of the road, and somebody loses control, runs over one of them, we're gonna be a problem. But what I wanted to mention, we need to, well, another thing is too, if we allow the panhandlers clinics, I know we're gonna have the, how many of y'all go around Chip Tunnel every day going to work? Saying that with across the street. But right there at the viaduct, you've noticed how trashy it is now? In the past 9 months, there's probably, they're estimating there's 150 homeless people living in that little triangle right now. No restrooms, no running water, none of that. But they're living there. And of course, that was getting started here in the city park. But I think we've got that. We've put the places on there to try to. We've still got work to do there, but we'll slow it down. But this panhandle, if it gets started, we don't have a good ordinance to stop it. And so I just want to bring it up so the commission can be thinking about it, Mayor, about how can we stop these folks. I think Steve talked to our attorney about it.
Yeah, he replied back to us on that.
Yeah, it's not gonna be an easy job stopping.
And it's still got some constitutional challenges even if it is.
Right. But it's like, Barney says, you gotta nip it. If you don't nip it before it started, you can't stop it hardly. And so I want to figure out a way we can nip it before it doesn't start. Like I said, the park issue, I think we put a stop to that. So, not saying it ain't gonna start up again, but right now it's in good shape. But, I just want the commissioners, the mayor, everybody think about it. Citizens, if y'all get out and talk about it a little bit, maybe get some, drum up a little support for it. See what we can do. Because I'm telling you, once it gets started, it ain't gonna quit. And the more you let it go, the worse it's gonna get. So, but I just wanted to say that, after talking, to the attorney, it's not gonna be easy. I thought it'd be pretty easy to make horses, oh, you can't stand there and do that. But it's not gonna be that easy. So we're gonna tell the community support along with the commission. If everybody got any thoughts or whatever, just feel free to call me anytime. I guess that's all I need to say.
All righty. We're gonna go right into the regular meeting. Y'all good to do that? Okay. We'll go ahead and call the regular meeting for March 13, 2023. This time we'll call invocation and resolutions. Let's all pray. Dear Father, we thank you for this blessings upon this city, these taxpayers, our visitors and residents and everyone, the workers that continue to make this city moving forward as we go beyond these times to make our city safer for life and property. Appreciate what everybody does. Be with us tonight as we talk about these decisions and life matters that go before and financials as we move forward. Just have us be good minds open and here to do the work as we be with us as we go beyond. In your precious name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, this is our regular scheduled meeting, which takes place on the second Monday of every month. Proper notice of this was given to the local media and placed in the hallways and also updated on our Facebook and website. This time we have a Commissioner's roll call, Commissioner Powell,
Here.
Commissioner Wooten, Commissioner Norris,
Here.
Commissioner House. Commissioner House is out sick, so I ask everyone to think about her as the seasons of hot and cold and everything blooming, and now it's getting froze out tonight, so just thinking of everyone like that. I think we've all been touching part of that. This time we're going to start with our Commissioners' reports, and we'll start with Police Department, Commissioner Norris.
I'm gonna actually try to read that off the computer. All right, the Trenton Police Department answered 271 calls for service during the month of February. Conducted 1,738 business checks, answered 2 animal complaints, responded to 3 domestic disturbance calls, 2 trespassing calls, 25 suspicious activity calls, worked 12 traffic crashes, 86 traffic stops were conducted inside the city, resulting in a total of 48 citations being issued. Citations were as follows: they wrote 8 speeding tickets, 3 driver license violations, 5 vehicle registration violations, 1 disorderly conduct, 2 insurance violations, 1 following too closely, 1 leaving the scene of accident, 1 taillight requirement, 3 failure to yield, 10 seatbelt tickets, 9 hands-free violations, 1 theft of shoplifting, 1 stop sign violation, 1 unsecured load, and move over law 1. And I would like to, it's not only paper here, but I'd like to add that the police department, Investigator Floyd and Chief Bolden were able to put a solve to a case that happened, 9 months ago? 10 months ago. 9, 10 months ago, anyway, the gentleman that did the crime over at Ingles was found deceased in the woods up here. But they've handled that, and as far as I've been told, it was our guy from Ingles. So that case was solved, and unfortunately, he took his own life up there. But that was something else the police were done, this month. I think that's all I got.
Thank you, Commissioner. Parks and Rec, Commissioner Powell.
Okay, the community center was rented 120 hours. We had 5 animal control work orders, and the rec ball fields are ready now, and they've started softball. We have the lifeguards as long as everyone passes certification this year so far. And another thing I'd like to talk about is we've had a little bit of people tearing property up at the park. If you see anyone doing that, please call the police
911.
department. And we'd like to get it stopped because we've had to paint the bathrooms and get someone to fix
It's happened twice this year already where kids are going there vandalizing the sinks and toilet paper and dispensers and as the 911 director, and I hear and I see the calls where our city officers over there doing random checks and walks. They park at Ingles, they park on Price, and they're walking there for several minutes. And I think we caught some
Yeah, they did.
the first round and stuff, but that's our taxpayers' money getting damaged. It happens at the county as much as too. It's just aggravating that, you try to make a nice place and people destroy it. You want people to use it correctly, be able to use the bathrooms when they're there. But they also, their final night, they check it and they lock everything up for the parks for them as well. So again, it's a tremendous team effort with the city employees.
It's very aggravating.
Cameras over there?
Yeah, we're looking into it with the cameras that we have in this building and what we're putting in over there where they broke into the city
Right.
things. The software that we already paid license for, we can extend it over there as well. So years ago, we put in a free Wi-Fi system through there with the same engineers that we have here now that are computer systems, and I've asked them to give us some ideas do that and what the system would be. We have it at this county park and it works, but what we run into down there mostly was people get on the soccer fields and do donuts.
Yeah.
When they come into where our cameras are, their lights are so bright, we can't see it, we can't see the tail lights. The tail lights are bright, we can't see the tag. We can't make out the vehicle because it's not the best quality camera that we need.
But I mean, we've been on, for years, ever since I've been on this commission, we've had trouble over there in that
Yeah,
park.
it's all, I mean, it's even before that, it's been,
Yeah,
but
So-
almost 19 years or 18 years with the county, it's about every year we get several of them.
It's a lot better than it was,
Yeah.
a lot.
Well, the routine patrol with the police department and the visual, people then driving through more knowing, and then we get cameras, that also deters it as well, but, yes, I think that's
well, I
something we
mean,
can
they,
look at.
you know, I mean, this is, I picked this kid up the other day, I say kid, he was probably 1 year or so, and I felt he was walking, and I took him through McDonald's, and I said, well, where can I take him home? And I don't know, I didn't get that involved, but he said, oh, drop me off over here at the park.
Yeah,
And it was like 8 o'clock at
Yeah.
night.
they've been staying they stay in the woods over there a lot, and it's being cleared out,
Yeah.
so we hope that stops a lot of it.
We're still working with, the other property owners there, so when it dries up, to let Ronnie McBriar Construction finish doing that, but we've got a huge water problem once we cleared that out. That's run off from Soloff property and the Golden Gallon and all that property. There's a lot of burns in there, and we got a lot of water that's being held, which to me is causing mosquito issues and things, where we're going to go in there and slowly retention it. Hopefully maybe something in the future with the state on some grants for some containment water areas to slowly let that stuff ease back into the creek, clean it up before it gets in. With Steve Monaco and that group, it's the same thing we're doing on the parking lot side that we done a couple of years ago down there on the side where that we worked on the bank stabilization project. So Soloff is going to be a big part in Golden Gallon, so we can get in there and ease to that and clean their side up as well, which also would help them, if people walking up from the park to either their properties to get items and stop by Eagles, get your picnic stuff, and go down to the park and have a picnic or snacks and stuff.
So with summer coming on, the pool opening, I
Yeah.
think it,
If you take a minute, drive through there, it looks really good. We've got some trees marked that Ronnie feels we need to let go, and we've had some local people ask about coming in and just cutting them for firewood. No cost us to get it removed, so we're working with local folks on that. So we'll continue as Mother Nature allows us.
I think what's been done so
Yeah.
far has been a big help.
Oh, yeah,
I really do.
I know you pushed for that.
it's hard to build with
Yeah.
every minute.
It just happened to, Mike had talked about it, and we had talked about it, and Ronnie had called me about that issue, and it just worked out, where he cut us a good deal, and saved us a lot of money while he was already in there trying to repair his building. And I guess, Terry, we can talk about the light pole that happened with
Oh,
the
yeah, I
storm.
need to talk about that. The light pole blew, broke into at the storm last Friday before last, and we've been working real hard to get this took care of. We had a pole, and we found someone that's gonna drill and put the pole up, but we had to make sure everything was clear, no gas lines, electric wires, all that. And so we are expecting to have the light pole back up this Friday, we hope.
We've got to call an electrician to mount a box in the ground, and terminate that, because that's high voltage wires that's under the ground, and when the pole broke, I think we estimated about 50 years old. There was that, and 2 more at some of the original poles that we want to get replaced, but we also have on our SPLOSH project to replace that with concrete basins and metal poles and LED lighting that's smarter and safer and less money, that we're going to meet with and start getting in a schedule with our current SPLOSH. I think about 2 weeks we're going to meet.
Yeah, we're supposed to meet with somebody to give us.
And we'll bring that back up to the commission to consider going out for an RFP and just get it in line with some SPLOSH projects.
We won't have that problem. I
Yeah.
think they guarantee any problems, they take care of them in 20 years.
And there's, certain things with fields to have games and certain things you gotta have, if you don't have enough lighting and the shadowing cause, someone to get hit. I learned a lot over that since that, but I want to ensure, I guess our softball parents and coaches have been calling us like crazy and we're working diligently. And we have a resource that's, will be our Southeast Lyman College is gonna come up and do it. We got the 811 located on it, and we got an electrician lined up to hopefully terminate that. We don't know what damage of the lights are. Ronnie's got a few extra parts.
We had extra lights, and
He's not sure about those boxes, if it damaged that box.
we had those, that was okay, but these lights are so old,
Yeah.
they're not available. No, you can't get them anymore.
I think he's got some to replace, but they borrowed or borrowing the lift from the county to get those done. At the same time, when that gets back up, at the same time, they will get up there and put the bracing and the lights back up and check those. But we're working as fast as we can with
Not easy.
the availability of our electricians to come do something like that too, so. But we are sure we're working hard for the little girls to continue to keep playing ball.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Wood, streets.
Well, Timmy, since you're here tonight,
All right, we had 34 work orders. We gravelled and repaired Vanguard Drive. Dug the ditch and cleaned the tile on Oak Avenue. Trying to finish getting up leaves. We had new garage doors installed at the shop. And like normal, we all getting our brush up. We had 2 trees fall at Lake Hills we had to come in and get up.
During that same storm.
Same storm. And patch potholes.
and we have a new guy, a new season.
We got a new seasonal guy started this week.
Dustin Pace.
All right, I'll go ahead and, for Commissioner House, and do her sewer report. Sewer department had 28 underground locates and 5 emergency locates. They had 14 different sewer calls throughout the city, on top of all the other stuff that they do. This is a department I think nobody hardly sees a lot, but they are very busy, and we appreciate that. Dwayne, is there anything else you need to bring up? It's Dwayne Moore, Director over our sewer.
We got the plans in for the screening system,
Yeah.
they emailed that in.
The ARPA funding that we've been talking about, we met here with the engineer. We're working on some final documents from Regional Commission to get that RFP out for the screens and bar screens that will help them out tremendously. It'll be taking the existing and adding on to it, and we're pretty excited about that. It'll take a lot of work and heartache off those guys, but it'll be a long and drawn out process. We don't know what it's gonna cost us yet, that's what the RFP will be for. But we also met on some other issues that were really concerning us. With all the rain we had last year and continuing this winter, these guys we got some pumps, pumping 24, 30.
Replaced the pump this morning,
Yeah.
still waiting on confirmation about our permit application with the state.
Let's do EPD, we have to do every 5 years.
To get a new permit, that'll go into effect September 1st, so we're waiting to find out what those limitations will be.
One of the things that Wayne and Dylan and Charlie had talked to us about is they're asking a lot more questions within their permits and a lot more testing that it's not required, but it's encouraged to do, so we don't know where we're fixing to be. Sewer's a big, big thing with industrial development, homeowners, and we're trying to get this plant to take us another 20. Engineers just to build 25 years at a time for us, and that's what we're trying to do now. We've got some more things that's gonna be coming back before, Madam Commissioner and myself and Dwayne are working diligently with our engineers to get a plan and see what it's gonna do to get us there, so we appreciate these folks very much. Fire department, as you can see here, we have several new constructions, South Main, got a building and property under review at 136 West. the Integer remodel, Fifth Street, we had a new construction, that's the duplex going in on Fifth Street. Garage addition in Glenwood, addition to Industrial Boulevard, 214 Industrial Boulevard. Plans review for South Main for remodel. 84 Pine Avenue remodel. Milton Circle, this is a new construction. Then Vanguard Drive, property plan review. This is a thing that IDA has been developing for Trenton Preston. It's going to be moving and putting a pretty large building up there, and we're working with them quickly to work with that. Electrical, had 6 electrical HV inspections, new construction that was completed for McKegg Road, and a courtesy fire inspection at Food City. I can relate to that because we had a fire alarm there late one night and went back and done some inspections and found some issues, and courtesy letting them know. Last couple of years with building plans, as they are building applications coming in, we've been sending information out that part of the fire safety to our current ISO is dependent upon these fire alarms, these sprinkler systems in these buildings that's currently there or been there and have to be maintained. That keeps the fire load off our volunteer fire department and our part-time paid employees, and part of that is just annually maintenance and keeping that up and inspection. So we've been doing a lot of courtesies, and we do that because we know it costs a lot of money to get that stuff taken care of, and if it continues and becomes issues, then that starts stepping through that. Fire department, we had 7 fire-related calls, had 9 accidents, 22 medical, 11 standbys, and dispatching canceled while en route to 37, had a total of 86 calls for the month of February. I will continue to keep talking as the mayor's update. I always tell everybody I'm a small part of a big team, and it takes us all, and that's what it is all about. But it's, meeting with Dwayne and Lucretia, our engineers, and anything that any of the commissioners come up with, we work as a team to come together, and there's been some, everybody's working diligently on as we know, the elections facility that we're trying to get done, and then also, I know we're all working towards the goals that we need to be working for, animal shelter. Still a lot of things that gathering information, myself and Rhonda. I think I heard Terry talk about some of it again this morning or this evening, but it's just stuff that we're still trying to get our hands upon. Again, very busy with the storm, and I appreciate Timmy and the guys getting out quickly, because opening roads for public safety is the most important things, and I think our officer was there for a while until they, we'd like to have 2 guys there making sure they're safe, and that was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to call and wake Timmy up. I know he's not too mad at me for that. Working the EOC that night, we take care of that, and everybody's on high alert, making sure everything's well. Take time to prepare for yourselves and your families when that stuff happens. And as we move forward into March and April, April's our storm season. You just be prepared for that if you need to. You can look up a lot of the information at any of our website links you to that, to Trenton GA or Dade County-GA.gov. I want to start in our financials for this. Again, we've shortened this version. Commissioners, you were given this in our final review with all the bank statements and year-to-date and month-to-date totals that we have. But our general fund ending January 31st is $1,030,028.34. Sewer funds, $214,271.18. Hotel motels, $155,698.03. Trenton Police Department fund is $2,485.11. Fire Department fund is $1,430.79. Our ARPA fund is $804,286.54. Savings account is $127,115.42. 2015 splosh is $60,942.74 is what we've set aside for the first part of the animal shelter. 2021 splosh is $201,506.67. Those are balance bank statements and reconcile all of January 31st, 2023. Again, our first month here, our revenue collected in January is $260,732.63. Expenses for the month of January is $148,213.95. Same thing would be for January through January of 23. Sewer fund revenue collected for the month of January is $91,835.10, and expenses was $60,021.16. That'd be my report and the financials, and I'd like to give a motion on the financials, please, as presented. Motion by Commissioner Wooten for the financials. Second by Commissioner Powell. Any discussion? Not all in favor, say aye. Any opposed, motion carries. Thank you. All right. Miss Eloise, I don't see her here. Guess we'll talk to Miss Wendy.
All right,
Just up here.
here we
You
go.
gotta get this to so it's not flipped all the time.
It doesn't look flipped on my screen.
I fixed it.
Hey, that was an easy fix, that little turn button. Our February statistics there, door count, again, over 2,000 people came into the library in the month of February. I broke down our circulations just so we could get an idea, give y'all an idea of what books and what materials are circulating. Our total circulations were 3,455. Children's books, again, that's how we catalog them. So children's is basically picture books through second grade. About 1,200 circulations. Juvenile books are what we consider elementary school through middle school. 687 YA are our teen books, 159, and our adult circulations 943. Now those numbers do not add up to 3,455 in case anybody's got their calculators out. I did not include on there, I just kind of wanted our print material. We also have AV material included in the circulations and our living materials that I didn't break down in this one. Our computer use, again, that's our public use of our computers, 274. That doesn't track our internet usage. Those are the people walking into the library needing to use a computer because they don't have access to one necessarily at home. 844 pages were printed by the public in the month of February. Our study rooms were used 22 times. Our meeting room was used twice. We added 65 books to our collection. And we had a very generous donation of DVDs, so we added 20 DVDs to the collection last month, all based on someone's donation. We are hiring a youth education coordinator. I'm sad to report our former youth education coordinator resigned, and we are currently looking for someone to fill that role. We conducted 3 interviews today at the library, and we are keeping that position open until filled. So please, if you are interested or if you know anyone that would be interested, it's a 32-hour per week position that is considered full-time at the library. You have access to health insurance, benefits. You are considered part of the teacher retirement system in Georgia, which is one of the best retirement plans out there. If you stay for 10 years, you get over 19% donated into your retirement account. That's in addition to the 6% that you would provide. Our hourly rate is $15 an hour. There's a lot of duties responsible in this position. They work the second most hours at the library other than myself. So if you're interested, please come by the library. I'll give you a tour, I'll tell you everything, and we can try to get you in for an interview. Miss Lisa Cagle is a member of our board, and she is volunteering. She has updated our ongoing book sale and filled it with books that we've either weeded from the collection or had donated that we were not able to add to our collection. So come check it out. There's a bargain to be had and lots of really good books there. And I'm happy to announce I've had these display units basically on order for almost a year. They came in, and you can see we're using them to highlight the new books that we've added to our juvenile collection and our YA collection. They're on casters so we can move them around the library. And I wanted to highlight that every month we order large print books for those people in our community that need a little bit of larger print. And these were just some of them that I added this month. So check out our large print collection. Our Pokemon League is as active as ever. In the month of February, we met twice. It's always the second and the fourth Thursday. For a total of 76 participants came. It's an intergenerational grouping. We've got children in elementary school, middle school, high school, parent volunteers. It's a really exciting, vibrant time to come to the library. Our Lego Showdown is another one of our kids programs. That's a once a month gathering where we challenge them to build and construct things out of Legos, and we had 23 participants this month, so very active. I wanted to highlight once again those launch pads. They don't require any internet access. You can check them out from the library, take them out with you, and there are different reading programs that can help you with phonics, storybooks, 5 different reading levels. So come check them out. We've had some patron response on those. Very positive. They loved them, helped them a lot. I think it was for a kindergartner. We are offering a cybersecurity boot camp this month, March 21st at 5 p.m. We're going to have somebody who is in IT security come and teach you how to stay safe online. So please come join us. It's at 5 p.m. It'll probably be 45 minutes to an hour, and learn about some techniques. I love the little promo there, the little code. Security isn't something you buy, it's something you do. So it's basically teaching you how to take control and make sure you're doing the right things. Oh, this didn't come off very well on there, did it? I have some of these to hand out. We're working with the Georgia Legal Services Program. These are called Ask a Lawyer Days. It's free. You just need to make an appointment. If you have any of these legal issues that you want advice from a lawyer on, you can come to the library. It's free of charge. I'd love to have one hanging up here. It's once a month. We just had one in March, but the upcoming dates are April 6th, May 4th, and June 8th. There is a number on here. You need to call them to make the appointment because they want to make sure that they tell you any important documents that you might need to bring to make your appointment with them as beneficial as possible. So we want to get the word out that this is a free service for seniors as well as people with low income. If you need some legal advice, check out the Ask a Lawyer Days at the library.
Is that going to be like our local lawyers or they volunteering to do it?
This particular lawyer, I think their offices are based in Rome, but she lives in Ringgold, but when she came last week, she had just been at the courthouse here and came here after her court date there, so. I think she works for the Georgia Legal Services Program, so she's not in private practice. She works specifically for them. All right, and check out our calendar, chrl.org. You can find out more information on that job. You can also find out all the events on our calendar for the month of March to see all the cool things that we're doing, and make sure you stay up to date on our Facebook page. Try to post almost every day. We post something about what's going on in the library. Thanks again for your time, Commissioners. I appreciate it.
Last for Dave, Sandy Moore.
Okay.
As we do every month, we have a listing of upcoming webinars through the Small Business Development Center. If anybody wants more information on that, they can click there as well as call us at 706-657-4488, and we'll update those each month. We also had a really successful virtual Valentine promotion in the month of February. We had 100 Valentines that were received for over 70 different businesses, and they were hand delivered, and then we posted that on Facebook. So got a little recognition for those businesses, just showing appreciation for everything they do in the community. We too are looking for a Welcome Center manager. We have been going through some interviews, and that position is still open, so if anybody's interested, there's still time, but hopefully we'll be able to close that out pretty soon. February counts at the Welcome Center, 5 residents, 18 visitors, and 13 phone calls for the month of February. And then some events coming up. One of our own is the Lunch and Learn, and our Director of Emergency Management, Mr. Case here, will be our speaker for our Lunch and Learn in March on the 30th, from 11:30 to 1. And if you're a business out there, come see what you need to be prepared for storm season coming up. So that's a very crucial time. You can click on the registration form and register online. Any more information, again, give us a call at the chamber. Also, too, the Catholic Church is holding a fish fry every Friday in this month. And then also on the 18th, the Lions Club is holding their annual St. Patrick's Day run, 5K and 10K. Any information on that, please contact Ronnie Cartwright. Coming up in April, again, we have another event that we're working with the school and the high school and having a career fair. So any employers out there, we did send out a notice last week. We'll send out some reminders, but this is a great opportunity if you're looking for employees to get in front of almost 300 juniors and seniors. Even if you're not looking for somebody, this will be an opportunity for them to see what you do, as well as you get an idea of what they're learning. There'll also be a tour of after the event, there'll be a tour of the classes, that the CTA classes that they have at the high school, and there's some really fascinating things. So there's very talented students out there. Also coming up on the 22nd, the Hand Up Ministry is having their gala, and it'll be a really wonderful night. There are more information on their Facebook page and website, so please check that out. And then also the first annual Blue Ribbon Glow and Run that date first, the Family Connection is having their first event. That this is to help with fight against abuse, and so child abuse. So this is an event that happens on the 28th of April. So if you're interested in that, please come out. Also, too, just some things on the tourism side. We have this flyer that we're putting out in lodging places in town, and we have it in the visitor center and other places, that a visitor or a local, if you want to check out what the latest places to eat, sleep, to shop, or hiking trails. Those QR codes will get you that information, and we're keeping that updated, and it's on the back end of our website. Also, too, these are a couple of ads that we have placed on Dade County. One is going in the Georgia Great Places, the double page ad there, and then the other one is going in a guide that is an outdoor guide that both of these are distributed across the state, and so anybody who is looking for outdoor adventure, they can find out about Dade County in both of these publications. Something that's not there that we've just got, we have a new map, tourism map that is just been printed, and it has Trenton on one side and Dade County on the other. And we're really excited about this. It also has those same QR codes on the map as well, and so they can find out attractions and where they're located. These are on tear pads. We've got those. We're distributing those in lodging establishments, as well as we have them at the visitor center. But this is another way that visitors can get more information about what's available: hiking, biking, caving, golfing, anything there is to do. And so now they've got a handy dandy map to find that information out. And that's all I have. If you have any questions, just let me know. And thank you very much for your time.
I want to break in here with Sandy while we got her here. Is, we talked last month about establishing our downtown development authority. And Sandy contacted me along with George Williams, and we're going to have some information for you commissioners at the next meeting. We have been doing some research. Sandy has done a lot on her own. She spent 14 years doing this with other cities and counties and brought a lot of information to help open our eyes, and I want y'all to see that as well. I was gonna do it this month, but with just so much going on and with that, but she's also done some more research, contacted her folks at Department of Community Affairs, and we're inactive, but we've got some steps to get going and what to do, and hopefully have a good plan of attack for this and a resolution that we can bring back up to reinstate this. But we also probably want to look at our areas of where that is probably looking at all 4 main streets of 136, north and south, and Main Street as our area. Again, if you look at your code of ordinance codes, I think it was established originally in 1985 in our ordinances, so we need to really look at that. And with our historical preservation committee that's moving as well too, working with them, there's a lot of neat things that can happen, just like what IDA does and what DDA can. But the biggest first thing is reestablishing with our resolution. So stay tuned. If you want to bend your ear, I'm sure she'd like to talk to you individually if you think about it, but I appreciate her and George coming to us. But, you know, it's a thing of working together with our economic and the businesses here, what we can offer back to the businesses, and you really need that hand with our chamber and our lines. And she's got the experience to help us get this moving, and looking for qualified investors and folks within the city, and make sure we all understand it and see it. So we'll have more of that information. Sandy, I really appreciate your time with that, what you're sending me with this. All right, any legal matters I know of any before the commission? Any unfinished business before the commission? Is there any citizen that would like to participate to talk to the commission tonight? Here none, we're going to run over the items of the work session for consider for new business. Approval of the agenda, approval of the previous meeting minutes, February 23rd. Splash item will be the server upgrade from Lightfoot Technologies, which is our engineering company we've always dealt with, for $5,071. Pedestrian crosswalks at West Crabtree and city school zones within Wolverine, West Crabtree, and First Street. I guess the break-off would be Case Avenue for West Crabtree and First Street. What do y'all think about Wolverine Drive, Dylan, Commissioner? Maybe so far up Wolverine, maybe the creek?
Good.
I think there's a sign right there close somewhere right there. We just reestablished that sign. I won't say it's just,
I think it's just the other side.
I think it's the other side of the creek, on this side of the creek.
Driveway.
That's right, driveway of the court facility, I think is what it is. We just reviewed the property lines and the surveys. As soon as that finishes up this week, that's just more informational. Robin is working on the deed for us, and as soon as that's here, we'll let you see that, and I'll probably see them out to you, probably have it for the next meeting, so you're free to review. The county software, we are good to go with Edmund Group, yep, for $60,640. Thank you, Commissioner. Glad you got that. Surplus property is 10 air packs, 24 bottles, and 4 face pieces, as long as the attorney's good with us moving it to the partner across the state line for surplus property. Then information on the baby box, we're going to continue to research that, ask the attorney to see if any other Georgia. We'll also do information out through GMA clerks on that. And then panhandling ordinance, I think we do have some, once Mike mentioned, wrongs in the city of Chattanooga, for some information to start looking at. Then we'll address that. For questions and comments, please, media or folks, look at us and talk to us if you want some more information. I believe that's everything to be considered under new business on the consent agenda. Take a motion for the items read.
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion by Commissioner Wood.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Norris. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Motion carries. All right. No executive session, and the moment we've been waiting for an hour and 36 minutes is adjournment. But before that, I still will remember everybody, it's supposed to be really cold the next few nights. I've seen a lot of sheets over all the plants and our gardens and flowers. Please, remember to bundle up and look forward to anything that you do and prepare. And thank you for being here and sitting here with us. At this time, we'll take a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion.
Commissioner Pine, motion.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Wooten. All in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Thank you all.
Mindy, I sent a man to see you.
You what?
I sent a man to see you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That tour you gave me.
Yes.
One of y'all's little room you got for historic stuff.
I don't know about that.
He won't talk
had a
about it.
question
He's been
about
up there all
what
the
that
time.
survey.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Yes.
He had a problem with it.
He didn't think that we're selfish.
We're at